merry meet. Good afternoon and evening and morning. Here I am. Oh, I'm not centered though. Am I? Let's see if I can fix that. Yeah, it's better. Oops. Come back here, you. All right, how's everybody doing? Are you having a great day? Welcome to Thrilling Thursdays. You know who I am, and I know who you are, so I'm glad you're here. And if you're new on our stream, welcome. We love having you. And we're going to be talking about prosperity and money today. That's what we've been focusing on Thrilling Thursdays lately, and we're going to stay with that. Today we look like we are moving into the next phase of the moon. So the today and tomorrow, I think, are the last days to do full moon waning stuff before we go into that second phase of the waning moon, that second week. So I thought we would get some of that stuff taken care of today as well. Yeah, we love a good Thursday, don't we? Yay, Jupiter. All right, so let's start out with some talisman work today, just like normal, and then we'll work a spell, and then I have a couple other things I want to talk about. Okay, hold on just a moment. Here we go. Hello. Do I have a glass? I didn't bring my glass. Why didn't I bring my glass? Well, we're gonna just have to be messy. If you don't have a glass, it's almost better in a way. If you don't mind it being imperfect, because you can trap the whole thing like I showed you yesterday. So let's try that first. Let's sign the name first, all viewers. Okay, or your name if you're actually, you know what? Let's do that centered so it looks a little better. All viewers, or just sign your own name. Okay, and then we're gonna do three seed thoughts for Jupiter. The first one is always peace for me. Remember, peace is a package deal. If peace is your primary goal, everything else works out. That's the esoteric meaning of that New Testament phrase, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all else will be added unto you, or all these other things that you're looking for will be added unto you. Peace is the package deal, and that's peace is the kingdom of heaven. That's what that means. It's synonymous. Okay, so I know, wouldn't it be nice if everything was just like explained in plain English instead of having to deal with all these symbols? But that's not how life works. Okay, so peace, and then I always like, lately especially, I've been using the quality of spirit that is represented by each archangel. And so today, being Thursday, Jupiter is ruled by Sakiel, and Sakiel is divine truth. So truth. And then we have one more thing. I'm going to do freedom today. Okay, and then we can just have some semblance of a circle around here, like that. And then we can put the symbol of Jupiter at the four corners, and all is well. Okay, so remember that I've included you in this, but that doesn't mean it's going to come and get you. You have to include yourself as well. So you just bring these thoughts of peace, truth, and freedom with you today, and work with those thoughts. Okay, so let's use some Van. Well, let's just do this circle. I call upon the Carib of the East. I call upon the Carib of the South. I call upon the Carib of the West. And I call upon the Carib of the North. Please be in our circle to guard us and protect us and empower our magic. We sprayed 2 sprays of Van on the talisman. And for my Sakiel perfume, I've decided to go with lavender today, which he shares with Raphael. And one there. Lavender is another one that's pretty all-purpose, though. You can use, if you don't have Van, but you have lavender, you can use lavender almost in the same way. All right, and then I've got a blue candle holder with a white candle. That should suffice. And there we have it. So I'm going to put this off to the side, because I'm going to start, well, I can put it up here. So it looks pretty. That'll work. Okay, I'm going to start a video. We're going to do a quick spell, a quick magic spell that will help us to take advantage of this waning, the first half of this waning phase. Okay, so just a moment, please. I'm gonna be right back where I am in a second. I gotta set up for the spell. It's really easy, the spell. I like quick magic because it's quick and very effective. Okay, here we go. Let me just start this. Merry meet. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I want to do a quick spell for paying a stubborn bill. That's right. If you have a bill that's kind of hard to pay and you don't know how to do it, this is the spell for you. It's a very easy spell. So what I have here is I have some chamomile, some peppermint, and some sea salt in roughly equal parts. This is a wonderful bill paying or debt-free powder. And you just mix it up. You can just get tea from the grocery store. You don't need to have anything special. It's just peppermint, chamomile, and sea salt. And if all you have is regular iodized salt, you don't have sea salt, that's fine. But you know what? Invariably, somebody's going to ask me, what can I substitute for peppermint? Can I do something else besides the chamomile? Because they are so hard to find. So yeah, if you can find them, we'll figure it out. But if you can, try to use the recipe as given. Okay, it really does work. Okay, so let's set this to the side. Now, take your actual bill if you can. If you have a paper bill, if not, print one out if it's online, or make a copy of it if you need to. I've just made this dummy bill. This is not real, obviously. So this is just a pretend bill, okay? So what you want to do first is, now if you can, most bills, it doesn't matter if you deface them. I prefer using the bill that you're going to send in if possible, but if you do everything online, then that doesn't matter. Regardless, make a pentagram on the four corners of the actual bill. And if for some reason you can't deface that bill, just use your finger instead of a writing implement. That's fine. Okay? And you're going to put some of this paper in here, or some of this powder in here. You're going to put some of this powder right on the bill. And then you're going to fold it up like that. Take an envelope. Seal it up. Paid in full. Hide this away. Best to do this on a waning moon, either on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Either Mercury or Jupiter will work for this. And then during the waning moon is the best time. And hide it somewhere where nobody will see it until either the bill is paid or until an entire lunar cycle has occurred. So if you're in the waning moon, either hide it until the bill is paid or until not this new moon, but the following new moon. Okay, and then at which time you can unhide it and you can take it out of here if you like, because it's already been taken care of. The spell has already been done, and you don't need to hide it any longer. And that's how you do that. Pay your bills, nice and easy with magic. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with me, and until next time, blessed be. Okay, so that was easy. Let's put this out of the way. Let's see if we have any questions before we move on. Nope. You guys are just talking amongst yourselves, which I love. So you just have at it, okay, my darlings? You enjoy yourselves. All right, today we're going to talk about... Oh, let me just record this, just in case. Today we're going to talk about purifying ourselves for prosperity. purifying our spell, purifying ourselves for prosperity. Within our minds, we always have thoughts that are actively producing results in our lives. And those thoughts that are producing results can sometimes feel like they are producing results beyond our control, because we are so unconscious of them, or we don't want to look at them. And so much of our behavior, if you want to get very pragmatic about it, so much of our behavior is guided by our unconscious motivations, our reflexive thought systems, our thought forms, as we call them. And so you can't oftentimes see the forest for the trees. And so we have these patterns of thought within us that are so habitual, that are programmed to thwart our prosperity, thwart our success, thwart our happiness, and keep us stuck. And keeping us stuck in negative financial situations is very common. So it's already hard enough for many of us to prosper financially, just because the world is not set up for that. The world, the governments and things like that are not really set up to get people out of debt, to get people into prosperity and into having wealth. They're really set up for us to constantly struggle against the economy, struggle against all of the economic forces. All right. But luckily for us, none of that matters, because according to ancient metaphysical principle, we have all power to overcome anything, even in the group mind, even in the species consciousness, as we're calling it. So one of the things we want to do then is to start to, we've talked about this before, about how to uncover hidden thoughts, right? So we already know how to do that. But the other thing that we also know how to do, that I want to remind us about, what I want to talk about today, is that you can go backwards. You can do things in the world. You can act as if in the world in order to change a thought form. And sometimes that's even more powerful than changing the thought. So one of the things that you can do right now is clean up your life. Clean up your life. Put things in order. A lot of times people want prosperity, but they don't want to look at their finances. They want prosperity, but they are unwilling to go through the paperwork and go through and do the filing and see how bad it is or how good it is. And it's funny, because when I work with people sometimes and they're freaking out about money, and I say, well, do you know what your financial picture is? I mean, can you go in and just really organize all your paperwork and give yourself a bottom line as to what's going in and what's going out, and what you do need, so that when you do Magick, it's going to be easy for you to say, well, actually, I need to increase my income by blah 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 in order for me to have what I want. And oftentimes that's the last thing that they're willing to do, because they're so afraid. They're so paralyzed by fear about looking at the truth, because they know it's going to be much worse than they thought it was. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's actually a lot better than they thought it was going to be. And even on that 1% of the time when it's as bad or worse than they thought it was going to be, it's better knowing it, because then we can do Magick. If you don't know what you're casting a spell for, then how can your spell be effective? How is that even possible? How is it even possible to do a money spell that's effective if you don't have any clue as to what your financial situation is? I just want $1 million. It's just like, well, but that doesn't mean anything to your deep mind. Your deep mind doesn't understand, I just want $1 million. Why? What's the purpose of that? Where's that coming from? What is that addressing? How do we need that? Why is that important for us? Well, you don't know. So it's just an arbitrary figure, and there's not going to be $1 million coming to you from that spell, because your mind is in disarray. So the first thing we have to do is put our finances in order, even if it's ugly, even if it's like, oh God, I owe, $80,000 in credit card debt. I owe $40,000 in back taxes. Blah, 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 blah. This is good to know. right? Once you know this, those figures can go right into your spell work, right? Those figures can then be broken down into manageable goals, and you can do spell after spell after spell to get that taken care of. And it can happen quite rapidly. Sometimes so rapidly people are freaked at how easy it was. But they can't get anything going until they know what's going on first, until they know where they're starting from. You can't clean out a room unless you turn on the light, right? You can't clean out a room unless you open the closets, unless you open the drawers, right? And so the first thing to clean up is your finances. That doesn't necessarily mean that by cleaning up your finances that the act of doing that in and of itself is going to necessarily draw money, although oftentimes it does. That alone is the catalyst for bringing money in. But it can be the basis for some extremely meaningful and powerful magic that actually has results that work in benefiting you financially. All right. And then, so once that's done, then you also have to go into cleaning out your drawers, cleaning out your cabinets, cleaning out your closets, cleaning out your garage, cleaning up everything. You want to find as a goal, you want to have a goal that there is no disarray for at least for a moment in your life where you can say, whoa, I cleaned everything out. I've cleaned everything up. Everything's in order, right? Now, if you knew that cleaning out everything and putting everything in order was going to profit you, wouldn't you do it? If you knew that you were going to actually be making a wage for doing that, like say a decent wage, let's say that you were going to make whatever your hourly wage is, say you were going to make that again or even double that by working on cleaning out the things that are a mess in your life, wouldn't you do it? Well, it's true. Working on cleaning out the things in your life that are a mess, you're not doing that just because that's the right thing to do, because good people are neat and bad people are messy. Absolutely not. I mean, I'm really messy. I'm not a bad person, but I've learned that I need to clean up. I have to clean things up. I have to clean out messes. I've got to clean out drawers. I've got to clean up things. I've got to put things in order because that invokes Jupiter. We know this, right? Jupiter's number 4. 4 is structure. 4 is order. So in order to have expansion and wealth and luck and prosperity, you must follow Jupiter's direction. And Jupiter demands order, demands structure. And so if you want to have the wealth that you are desiring, you have to start with following the rules of the planet that you're working with. And Jupiter's rules are order and structure. They must be ordered, must be structured. Can you imagine the king of all the gods on Olympus, which is what Jupiter is, or Zeus, being disorganized, being disorderly? Nothing would get accomplished. So he demands it. He requires it, and not because it's arbitrary, but because it works. Okay, so recognize that when you do that kind of work of putting your life in order, putting the physicality of your life in order, organizing, cleaning, throwing stuff away that you don't need, or giving it away, or recycling it, finding new homes for it. Those kinds of things are so powerful because they are invoking that law. So there's no such thing as arbitrary luck. Luck is made. And part of what you can do right now to make yourself luckier is get your life in order, because this is purifying your thought forms. Every time you put your life in order, and you can tell yourself this as you're doing it, I am cleaning out my mind. I am reordering my mind. I'm putting my mind in order. I'm organizing my mind for prosperity. Those kinds of thoughts you tell yourself as you're doing it. And make it your priority to get everything cleared out. Ask for help if you need it. Ask for help. Ask a friend to help you get stuff together if it's too daunting, if things are in disarray. Okay? But make it your priority, because then you can, with a very clear conscience, say, I have done my part. I have done my part. for Jupiter. And now I can claim my prosperity. I can claim my luck. I can claim the expansion of my finances that is my birthright much, much more easily than if everything's just all in disarray and you don't even know what your financial picture looks like. And you've got stuff all over the place and you can't, you can't find anything because everything's so disorganized. Okay? That's poverty behavior. That's poverty thinking. I know it's true that there are some very successful business people who are messy, but they're not as messy as you think they are. That's an illusion. It's maybe an organized mess, and they also have people keeping them together. There's no such thing as prosperity in a mess. All right, well, this has been great. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I cannot wait until the next time we are working together, and until that time, blessed be. I did that just in case I wanted to use that as a video. I'm still here. Okay, I'm trying to clean everything in my life now, like swimming through treacle, slow. Well, okay, that's okay. It can be slow, but it doesn't have to be like swimming through treacle in January. It doesn't. You can say something different. You can say, you know what? This is happening really easily. I'm cleaning out everything so easily. It's so much fun, and it's happening so quickly. You can change that thought. See if you can just, and also don't try to clean out everything at once. Just take one drawer, right? Just take one box of papers or one filing drawer. Just one little thing at a time, and then do the next, and then do the next, and then do the next. You can ask for help. You can ask for help. Find people. Just ask your friends. I need help. Can you help me? Is there anything I can trade you? I just need help. I need some, or maybe you can find somebody that's willing to do it for a very little bit of money to just help you get your paperwork in order. Sometimes just doing it with somebody is all that it takes. I pay an assistant, and all of that stuff I can just do myself. I'm actually better at it than she is a lot of times, but I just don't do it. So we have office hours every week, putting stuff in order, putting stuff together. Otherwise, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I know me, so I set things up so that it's gonna work out because I know myself. I know my tendencies. I know my patterns. I know what I'm capable of and not capable of. And so I catch myself and I make sure that I have some sort of infrastructure in place to compensate for my weaknesses. You can do it alone, though, if you need to. You can do it alone if you need to. But you can ask for help. And you can do a spell for help. Just like I wanna get order, and you can do a spell for order. What about that? Doing a spell for divine order. I'm gonna spell for order in my paperwork. I'm gonna do a spell for order in my life. I'm gonna do a spell for a clean house, for a clean office, for a clean car, right? Do a spell for it and see what happens. See what shows up for you. Yeah, my finances make ugly look good, but that's okay. That's okay. You can start wherever you are, and then you change that thought. You start loving your finances. You start blessing your finances. How are they going to respond to that? My finances are so ugly. How are they going to respond to that? By saying, okay, I guess he wants ugly or she wants ugly. Let's do ugly. How ugly can we make our finances? Okay. Yes, boss. Right? So instead, we're going to just change the way we're thinking about our finances. And that's where magic comes in. You can install very, very powerful thoughts, by doing that. Anybody else saying anything that I want? Nope. Does it destroy my spells when I tell others that I am doing, for example, a spell for money? Do I have to keep them secret? Yes, you really want to keep your spells secret. You don't want to tell people that you're doing magic. No, you don't. The results will speak for themselves, but that's one of the sides of the witch's pyramid. The pyramid of power is secrecy. You definitely do not want to speak about that which you are working on. And some people say once it's done, it's fine. I don't even speak about it after it's done. They can see that I'm successful, but they don't need to know that I did magic to be successful. I don't need anybody's opinion, even silently inside of the thought pool of this universe, thinking about my finances and my magic and what I'm doing. So I would rather they not know, so that I have one less piece of input in the group mind that I'm going to have to deal with, right? So the less people know about my life in general, the better, to tell you the truth. Now, there's some people that can know. I mean, if I'm working magic with someone, or if I have a teacher that I need help from, or some peers that I need some help from, that's different. But definitely, to keep your magic as secret as possible. If you haven't done a witch's primer, you might want to take that course, because it's an intensive 18-week course in magic. So and it will build your power, so that these spells are a lot more effective than just doing spells. And it's free. So it's you can go to arielgatoga.com/AWP. arielgatoga.com/AWP. It's hard to stay positive and try to get things done when you have someone you love that is sick a lot and can't do much. And I try so hard to do everything so they don't have to. I don't give up. Oh, well, it is hard. That is very hard. That's very, very difficult. And it's also commendable that you do that. So instead of thinking of it that way, just say, try this for maybe a week. Try thinking the thought, when you notice yourself thinking that way, just say, I am so grateful that I am able to help so-and-so. And I'm so grateful that I am able to give so-and-so what they need since they're sick. And I claim my return for this giving that I give. Now, you're not giving to get. You're not giving to receive. I understand that. But you do have a right to having your needs met when you give out of love. Okay? You do have a right to have your needs met. So you can just change that instead of saying, oh, because I'm giving so much, then I can't have finances working for me. Let's change that script a little bit and just say, I'm so grateful to be in a place where I can help so-and-so, and I deserve to have all my needs met financially and then some. And all my needs are now met at every moment of time and every point of space. Infinite intelligence is constantly guiding my every thought, word, and deed so that I can prosper. You just have to train yourself to change those thoughts in the midst of it all, rather than allowing yourself to go around and around, since I'm giving so much, then it's hard for me to prosper. I understand that. It's true. But now let's change that. Let's make something else true. Okay, Ariel, you always provide such good advice, suggestions. Oh, you are so welcome. And thank you so much for being on the stream. I really appreciate you and everybody being on the stream. I'm motivated, but I feel low on energy. My friends are useless when it comes to help. They think I'm already organized. Is there a psalm to stop procrastination? Yes, there is. You can go on my YouTube channel and look for just put procrastination in there. There is one specifically to stop procrastination. I just can't remember which one it was. Everybody's trying. I understand that. I'm not saying you're not trying. I'm not saying that you're not doing enough or that you're doing something wrong. I'm encouraging you to start looking at it differently as you go. It's not that I want you to try harder. I want you to look at it differently. I want you to look at your life as something positive, even in the midst of anything negative. Recognize that money is on its way. Recognize that money is something positive in your life, that your prosperity is increasing day by day by day, and that you're going to help it by getting your life in order. You're going to help it by getting things organized. Whether or not you can get help, you can do it. And even if it's only one little drawer a day or one little part of a drawer a day, it's something. Remember that there is power in something. I also have a lecture on that. It's called The Power of Something. You might want to listen to that. You don't have to organize everything, but organize something. And little by little, you'll get everything organized. Have the intention that you're going to have your life in order no matter what, and it'll happen. It will happen. Even if you can only do a little bit every day, the universe will underwrite your efforts. All right, my darlings, I love you very much. Thank you so much for being on this stream. You are the bright spot in my day, and I have lots of bright spots. So I appreciate you being here. This is so much fun, and I will be back tomorrow. We're going to be working a witch's rosary, which is so much fun and very, very powerful. And then Saturday, we will be doing a psalm spell. And then Sunday, our Soulful Sundays, we will have some sort of a live stream lecture. I'm not sure what we're talking about yet. I'm always open to suggestions. Make sure that you're on the forum and or the Facebook group. That's the best way to get the assistance and support you need. And I'm there every day. So I will see you over there. And thank you so, so much for being here today. Much love and many, many blessings.